Please.
I guess quickly, Jules said that they met Connor during the SEC tournament. What was that experience like?
It was really good. He came to the hotel and was at the SEC tournament. He came last night for the selection show, so he was well behaved and it all went well.
How nice is it to see like that excitement from the team and just the extended family that they can be?
It's great. There was a long period where I was pregnant for a long time and was gone for a few days, had a baby, and then you come back and they hadn't gotten to meet him. So it was really special for them to finally get to meet him.
What was your initial gut reaction when you saw the tournament selection?
Yeah, it was a fun atmosphere. It was a fun environment. We have a tough opponent, and we got to make sure that we continue to fix us, and hopefully we can represent Tennessee well.
How would you describe how badly they needed the rest following that SEC tournament?
Yeah, we really need the rest. We look better now. We look more crisp. We look kind of like we did end of December, which is what we needed.
How do you balance preparing for South Florida while also looking at the other teams you might face if you win?
You can't face them if you don't win the first one.
Just early scout, what have you seen out of South Florida?
Yeah, they're very offensive heavy. They run a lot of sets. Our half-court defense has to get a lot better. We did not look great today in practice with our half-court defense, so just making sure that we sit down, we guard, we talk, we play as a team.
What does your team need to do, one that plays fast-paced, to make sure that you guys can still play that offense against a team that does play a little bit slower?
Yeah, I think we need to get stops. I think everything about us right now starts on the defensive end and getting steals or getting stops and then being able to push and transition. And so we're going to have to be all on the same page, all play together, be able to play through mistakes.
Smayer says that the practices the last few times have been better than maybe what they were during the SEC tournament. What's a good indicator to you that they have been more productive?
Yeah, they have. We're able to go longer and harder, and they're having fun and they're being competitive, which we kind of had hit a wall there where we were just kind of running through the mud, and so they look a little more fresh, a little crisper.
Did you notice that change right after the SEC tournament, or was that something that took a couple
It took a couple days. So we needed to rest. So you rest first, and then you try to get them back into it. And so we did that. We had 2 days off. We had 2 skill days, kind of lighter days, and then we've kind of ramped it up, and we're about to the point where we're about to taper it back down.
Smayer says that it gets so competitive in practice sometimes that they forget that they are actually teammates. It feels like they're competing against another team. How refreshing is it to see that level of energy?
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's beautiful anytime. I mean, today we had probably 2 minutes where they're just squabbling with each other, not in a negative way, but they're just arguing over fouls or whose ball it is, and they're just really getting back to their roots of being a competitive program.
How would you describe what a good practice looks like for you as a coach?
They're tired, but they're competing, they're having fun, there's high energy. You would be able to, we always say, if there's somebody up in the concourse, they're gonna think a game is going on. Shoes are squeaking, there's loud energy, and they're gonna look down and they're gonna see what's going on. It's just not just a dead gym.
You've gone all the way at the D2 level. What do you think the key to success is to have these deep tournament runs?
I think you need to have a team that is 100% locked in, and that every single player on the roster wants to win more than they care about getting through a practice or their feet hurting or how many points they score or anything else. You have to be selfless, and everyone has to just put everything they have into the last few weeks.
What do you remember about that team at Glenville that won the championship?
I mean, the thing that separated them, everyone would come up to me and say, how do you win a national championship? How do you win a national championship? And I think we had 12 or 13, maybe 14 seniors on that team. And so everyone was all in. There was no next year, and that's how we approached everything. If there is no next year, you don't get to do this again. And when you can have a team that has that mindset of it's everything right now, all or nothing, you never get to do it again, you're pretty hard to beat.
What traits does this team have that resemble that team at Glenville State?
We're senior heavy. I definitely think we have that. I think we are kind of turning the page right now of, hey, it's about winning.
Does this team, go ahead.
You got it, Paige.
What signs does maybe this team have that reflects that championship team you had?
Yeah, same thing. I think that they are getting to the point where it's about winning. It's about something bigger than themselves, and that's when we are at our best.
How receptive is this group when you tell them stories about that national championship?
I don't tell them a whole lot of stories about that national championship team. I don't really know that they care. I think that it's about them. It's about where we are. I think we have enough history in this program right here. And when we tell stories of what we have learned and what we know about former Lady Vols and what they did to win their national championships.
What's the story of this team?
It's to be determined. Hopefully it gets a lot better. And I hope that it's a team that is resilient, a team that had some adversity and then they took some time and they fixed it and they figured it out. And I think there's still more left to our story.
And as far as those seniors and leaders stepping up, who have you seen really step up in this past week and a half?
Yeah, I think everyone steps up in their separate ways, and I think the person who has stepped up the most has been Tess Darby, and she has been a completely different player since our SEC tournament.
How so?
she's vocal, she's playing harder, she's having fun, she's talking a little trash in practice, which is not really in her character. She's leading, she's telling people, she's putting people in the right spot. She wants to win, and she came to me and she said she wants to win for her teammates. She knows she doesn't have a career after this. She knows that she has a few weeks of basketball left, and she wants to win to make Tennessee proud, but she wants to win for her teammates so they can get their individual goals, which I thought was just such a great statement.
Why do you feel like the team is receptive to her change? Why do you, like, what have you seen about them change because Tessa's changed?
I think everyone respects her. She comes in every single day. She works hard. She doesn't ever take a play off. She makes all of her sprints, and she's a senior. And again, she's not a selfish player. Everything is for somebody else. And when you have a player that will sit there and say that, it's hard to look at them in the face and not do anything but play hard for them.
All right.
Thank you, guys.